Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I finally got around to watching Unicorn Store, a Netflix original film that was starring and was directed by Brie Larson. Samuel L. Jackson's there too, along with Joan Cusack and Bradley Whitford. And I didn't know the premise of this film going in. I thought it was an interesting title. Wasn't expecting to be quite literal. It's about a young woman who's trying to buy a unicorn from a unicorn store, which is run by Samuel L. Jackson, and trying to prove that she's worthy of having this unicorn in her life. And it's an odd, offbeat, quirky film, and that's all over this. And it's centered by Kit, who is a odd, quirky, silly kind of girl. She's an artist, but it looks like she's forced into trying to find a quote-unquote real job. And her trying to balance this work life and trying to be an adult, which brings some good humor to the film, and I appreciate that. And I thought Brie Larson did a fine job performing in this film, really selling the quirks of her character against all the other characters in this film. Samuel L. Jackson is being Samuel L. Jackson. There's not a whole lot of depth to his character. He's just there to be loud and entertaining, and that's what he does. And not a whole lot to him, but he's fun, he's entertaining. Joan Cusack and Bradley Whitford, I appreciated in this film. They were a nice pairing as Kit's parents, and this film tries to have these messages of, it's balancing a strange line of, is this magical realism, or is there some kind of like mental illness going on? And one of the concerning things for me about this film was, I don't know how well it handled it balancing this idea of like maybe she has some mental illness going on, because I don't feel like the film dealt with that in the most positive way. And there are some very powerful scenes and strong performances in this film that center around trying to find that realization and everything. But in the end, I feel like the general theme of what it's trying to go for is really finding yourself, and really being okay with yourself is important. I don't know how well the journey leading up to it was. Honestly, sitting back and thinking about this, it was a fun, goofy movie. And that was about it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't think it was super great or have so much to say or was potentially an important film, but Netflix does what it does. Get some films, they're alright, they're watchable, and you could stream this for an hour and 30 minutes on Netflix, so why not give it a try? And those are honestly my thoughts. I think this film is more appreciated on the surface without looking too deep into what it's trying to say, because I feel like that's where the film has some issues. But from just an enjoyment perspective for an hour and a half, it's a fun time. So why not? Go check out Unicorn Store. Brie Larson does a fine job, both in front of the camera and behind the camera. But comment, let me know what you think. And thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.